Implementing BPR in an organization. Business process re-engineering is the radical redesign of the business processes to achieve dramatic improvements in terms of cost, output, quality, and responsiveness to the customer. BPR believes to think over existing processes to deliver more value to the customer. BPR enforces the organization to remove unproductive processes and ensure effective business processes. The major purpose of business process re-engineering is to make dramatic improvement in productivity and performance, cost reduction, quality and customer satisfaction. For detail, please refer my previous article, Business Process Re-engineering. Simply, knowing BPR does not make any difference. Success of BPR is solely depend on how emphasis you put in implementation. Let me discuss what should consider while implementing BPR. Before implementing BPR, organizations should have a framework or a model for the continuous improvement on the business processes. This model guides the organization to understand and measure the current processes and make performance improvements. Further, there is also a strong perception that the current processes are inefficient and irrelevant in BPR. In this case, existing processes have to completely redesign. Prior to the implementation of BPR, organizations have to determine their objectives and should undertake analysis of expected business processes, whether it is relevant or not. After understanding the ultimate goal of business organization, it creates a vision for the future and designs new business processes. And because of this, there will be a gap between two processes. And BPR creates a plan of action based on the gap between the current and proposed processes. Technologies and structures. Determining objectives and framework. Firstly, organization has to blueprint its objectives that it wants to realize from the BPR. So, it helps the organization to focus on steps that should undertook in sequence for the process re-engineering. Identify customers and determine their needs. While drafting business processes, organizations have to know market and customers. Business processes shall largely influenced by customer taste and preferences, their purchasing power, etc. Because the purpose of redesigning business process is to provide added value to the customer. Study the existing processes. The existing processes provides a base for the redesign of business processes. This facilitates the comparison of targeted processes, which ultimately helps in removing the defects in the existing processes. However, some organizations go through the re-engineering processes with clean perspective without laying emphasis on the past processes. Formulate a redesign process plan. The information that an organization gains shall provide the roadmap to generate the alternatives. Formulation of redesign plan is the real crux of the re-engineering efforts. Customer-focused redesign concepts are identified and formulated. In this step, alternative processes are considered and the best is selected. Implementing the redesign. It is the final step, as this is a step where an organization determines how would be the business processes. Implementation of the redesign process and application of other knowledge gained from the previous step is key to achieve dramatic improvements. It is the responsibility of organization to operationalize the new process. By implementing BPR, an organization realizes improved productivity and attention to quality control. If you have any queries, please feel free to comment. Thank you.